Just a quick update on one of my projects. In fact, I think I'll give you a one crochet and one knitting update. I'm going to try and make these videos a little longer and see if I can still upload them from my iPad. So I made some leg warmers. If you watched in December, you know that I made some amazingly chunky yarn out of my wonderful wool advent calendar, and I wanted to make some leg warmers with them. Well, they were pretty quick, so I've made them, and are you ready? Here they are. So if you're looking at those and thinking, oh man, they're ugly, don't worry, it's fine. Some of you will find them ugly, and that's absolutely fine, and it's a really important part of crafting, particularly when it comes to things like spinning and stuff that's more individual maybe than following a pattern. That it's very much a matter of taste, and I believe strongly that if you're making something for you, the only person who needs to like it is you, and if you're making it for somebody else, the only people who need to like it is you and them. And I love these. So you can see there are some really fine parts. What I did was I basically spun the yarn, spun the fibre the way I felt it wanted to be spun, or the way my mood was. So some days I spun things chunkier because I didn't have much time. Some days I spun things chunkier because I just liked the way it looked like that. And sometimes I spun it finer because I was in the mood. And sometimes the yarn, the fibre just didn't want to do anything else than what it had planned. I think I've created something new. It's called Sayori spinning. So you're familiar with Sayori weaving if you haven't seen that before. It's a technique which espouses the concept that we are not machines, that we do things because we're human, and that means nothing's perfect, nothing's a mistake. You just incorporate anything that happens into your weaving. And I've decided that I do that for spinning too. So, and now knitting. So a couple of things here. There's this great big clumpy lump which wasn't properly plied in, so I purled that stitch to make sure it would show. And then when I was spinning, when I was plying, there were a couple of little I've just watched a video actually of Ashley Martineau, who's brilliant YouTuber on spinning, deliberately doing these. Now I didn't do these deliberately, but look at them, they're so cute. So I've got 3 plies going together, and 2 of them have gone off to the side and had a little party. And I obviously haven't noticed. I could easily have done that deliberately, but I haven't. I just haven't noticed it. And so I made sure they came to the front as well, so you can see those. So they're very different. They're very individual, and they're going to be warm as anything. And I really wanted to show them to you today because I intend to wear them tomorrow. So I'm just going to get one of them on for you. Oh, my socks are a bit wet, which is very unpleasant. There we go. You can see my wet sock. So there's my leg warmer. Absolutely love it. It's going to keep me wonderfully warm. It was -5 when we went for our walk this morning, and it's apparently on Saturday when we walk it's going to feel like -10. Now what's that? Oh, I can't remember what that is in Fahrenheit, sorry. I'd ask Alexa, but she's indoors. So it's going to be very cold, so I'm really, really pleased with those. And yeah, very happy. I have that much left. Tell you what though, it was very hard on my hands. I'd kind of roughly worked out a wraps per inch on this, but I think I'd got one of the finer parts when I did it. And I did an 8mm needle. And at one point when I was casting off, this came out of that. So if you use interchangeables, you'll know that it should. There's a metal part that the plastic cable goes into, and it's here. And that should stay in there, but it didn't, it came out. And it's a bit like an underwired bra. Once it's gone, you can't trust it ever again. So that's going to have to go in the bin. So that's a casualty of my leg warmers, unfortunately. But that's okay. So that's, I don't know what I'm doing with all of that. So that's my knitted leg warmers. And I also wanted to show you, also hand spun, my Tour de Fleece jumper. If you've watched before, you'll have seen this. Last July, so July 2019, I dyed and then spun a whole load of Corriedale, and I ran out. So I bought some more Corriedale from Wing & Wool, black, and there it is, the first lot. I spun it. I tried to spin it to make it the same thickness as the previous one, which is a little bit thicker because it was 18 months ago. I guess I was a different place on my journey then, right? So it was a bit thicker than what I'm currently spinning, but I went a bit too far and it is too thick, but it doesn't actually matter. It's just going to make this part a little bit stiffer, but that doesn't really matter. So I have spun another whole bobbin full, a little bit finer, and I applied it today, and it's now having a little bath, and I will thwack it on the trampoline later on and put it on the radiator, and then I'll get to crochet with that tomorrow, and that will be particularly good for the sleeves because I don't want anything too stiff on the sleeves. So basically that's the same jumper design as this. And you know what, I did not know that acrylic bobbled. I thought it was just wool, but I wear this a lot and it bobbles something chronic. I've been sitting here picking bits off. These little bubbles, can you see them? No, you can't really, but you know what I mean. It's starting to look a little bit shabby. I'm not bothered because I don't go anywhere, but I need to get this finished because I'm wearing this out. So yeah, that's my I only got 2 crochet projects on the go, and I showed you the other one day before yesterday. So that's that. So it's not much of a longer video, is it? Oh, I finished off the fibre. I had to say got a little bit left over that I couldn't fit on the bobbin, but I thought, oh, I might as well spin it anyway. I thought I dyed it because I was sorting out my dye pot, container. I got a dye in my hands. It went into the water when I was soaking this, and I thought, oh, that's going to have some interesting colour to it, but thankfully with no acid source it hasn't taken, so it's no different from the bigger skein. So they've got 3 of these now. I think I am going to weave them. This is an art bat from Spin City. It's called Forage. I think it was from something like October, our monthly art bat club. And I've coarse spun it around some russet coloured mohair. So I think that's going to go in a weave. I really, really love it. There's a clump of stellina here. Where is it? There it is. It just kind of jumped in all at once. Right. Okay. So, I think that's it for now. I think I might try a sort of full length podcast episode type thing. Maybe next week. I've got a new editing thing on my iPad which might work, so we'll see how that goes. If you saw some pictures before this of what I've been doing this week, then you'll know that I managed to get the editor to work, but if you didn't, then okay, have a good week. Happy crafting.